You want something better?
Budget for your gadget with 𝙗𝚘𝚚𝚎𝚘.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Junior Jock Wacky.
And Junior Jock David.
The Techno Boys are here to bring you guys budget for your gadget.
Yeah.
Courtesy of our friends over on 𝙱𝚄𝚘𝚃. If you guys want to see everything we're going to talk about here, you guys can find it on their website. That's 𝙱𝚄𝚘𝚃, and as well as on any 𝙱𝚄𝚘 branch you can find. All right, David, I believe you have something very special today. It's not like...
Something very budget for your gadget.
Like, compared to what we used to have, it was very, big, very grand. What is this?
Okay, let me just start by saying, we listen, okay? We make sure that everyone's opinions are heard.
Yes.
And I've seen a lot of people in playback talking about, that laptop's so expensive, I can't afford that. Well, don't worry, because our friends over at 𝙱𝚄𝚘 have heard you. They've heard your cries. They've heard your pleads.
Exactly.
And they have brought us today the HP 14 EP0223TU.
Dude, it looks like the thing is, one thing I noticed off the bat is it seems really easy to bring around.
Yes.
It's really on the smaller end. So
I would call this the everyday man's laptop.
dude, it looks so nice though.
Yeah, so if you guys are... Let's create a scenario first, all right? First of all, let's talk about the looks of it.
Yeah.
Most of the laptops we've done were kind of gaming-centric laptops or editing-centric, powerful beasts.
Yeah, that's the thing.
This one is just simple, matte gray finish.
Yeah.
No crazy stuff. Pretty sure there's LED lights. I think there is not. Okay, I lied, guys. It is really the most bare bones in a good way the laptop can get. It is simple. It just gets what you need to get done.
I get that. So, and I imagine there'd be a lot of things, like for example, if you're handling work documents, if you're handling school stuff.
Yep.
This is something that'll be really easy to just pick up and go with.
Yeah. Something I also want to mention is this laptop is extremely light.
Dude, that's nice.
A lot of the laptops that we reviewed here on Budget for Your Gadget tend to be on the heavier side, which makes sense. Because they're monsters. They're beasts. This guy, you're going to be able to carry him one hand, no problem. No back pain as well when you're carrying it from store to store.
I get that.
From I guess office to office, cafe to cafe, whatever you guys are doing with your laptops. No problems, because this thing, it won't give you those aching backs for those hard mornings.
And it looks adorable, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It looks adorable, dude.
Just because it's adorable, that don't mean it doesn't have the specifications.
Damn, all right. What are we packing?
Yeah. Well,
what does this thing
first of all,
have?
for the display, we have a 14-inch full HD display.
Ooh.
Yeah, so honestly, for something being so light, having a 14-inch display, pretty decent.
Let's say you're watching Netflix, watching YouTube, you get to see everything you need to see.
Let's just say you're working on your accounting documents right here.
Damn.
I would say that if you're planning this laptop is very more catered to more simple working tasks.
I get that. Right?
So the idea isn't, oh my gosh, I want to be able to go pro in esports with this laptop. You guys can definitely check out the rest of 𝙱𝚄𝚘's lineup if you're curious for those kind of laptops.
Yeah.
But this one is definitely more for the everyday working man.
No, but I imagine it does it very well. It's very, I'd say, work-centered. Very workflow-centered. And I now that I think about it, I think it's similar to the laptop my sister uses.
Really?
The thing is, HP. HP is a really, really good brand, really durable brand.
Yes.
And we have something like this that's easy to carry around, really durable, and still has the capabilities for what you need to work on. That's kind of a steal.
Exactly. So listen, let's say, who do you want to buy this for, right? Well, let's just say, you kids out there, you teenagers, young adults, you guys got some spare money lying around, and your parents refuse to buy a laptop because they think they don't need it. You can just buy this for them. It's on the cheaper end.
Yeah.
And you could just say, hey, I know you've been struggling to do your work documents.
Yeah.
Here you go. Here's a laptop so you don't have to struggle as much.
Oh.
Or let's just say you parents out there, you want to give your kids a laptop to do their schoolwork on.
I get that.
But you don't want them to get addicted to video games.
I get
Or you don't want to enable them as much as you want to, right? You can get this laptop just does the work. It just does the work. You know, they can do Word documents on it. They can do Excel sheets. They can submit assignments. And don't worry about them opening Valorant or League of Legends because trust me, this is definitely the working man's
What's the
laptop.
specifications for this again? It's back in, if I'm not mistaken, a Core i3.
Well, yes. So if any of you guys are familiar with tech specifications, we have an Intel Core i3. So, you know.
Dude, a Core i3 is not bad.
It's not bad.
lived with a Core i3. I used to stream with a Core i3.
Yeah, see? You know, you can really push this thing to its limits.
Exactly. So this would do a really, really good job. What you have to do, just have to optimize it as much as you can, and bada beam, bada boom, you have a working system.
Something I definitely notice about the tech industry nowadays is everyone's always talking about the latest tech, the latest, you know, but come on, guys, do we have the money for that? Let's be honest, you know what I mean? Some of us are working students that can't afford that. So this is definitely more on the affordable end. If any of you guys are starting college, starting work, starting high school, you know, maybe you can
Everyone,
pick it up.
for school nowadays, even grades, I imagine even grade school people kind of need a laptop
you know,
nowadays.
right here, ladies and gentlemen. We also have
What's our RAM?
Well, we have 8 gigabytes of RAM. So,
dude,
you know.
8 gigabytes not bad at all.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Again, very baseline, working man's laptop over here. And we also have 256 gigabytes of storage space.
That's a good start.
Don't worry, guys. You can always plug in an external hard drive into this and get all your data backed up or whatever you want to do with all your data. Like we said before, this is definitely the working man's laptop.
It's perfect to pick up. For example, you need something first time at work, first time at school.
Yeah, if you need to do Zoom meetings, just write up quick documents, just, you know, simple stuff.
Yeah.
This is a simple laptop just for you.
Absolutely perfect.
And I know the people in Playback are talking big, right?
They are.
Yeah, they're going to be like, okay, you're kind of playing up this laptop. This is the working man's laptop, but is it the working man's price range? Right?
Well, what's the price range, David?
Well, you know, Asianic knows how to kind of budget for their gadgets.
I get that.
And we have an SRP of 26,990,000. Oh, sorry. 26,990 pesos.
Really now? Okay, that's not bad at all.
That is not bad. Let me tell you guys, a lot of laptops right now go for like, what, 50,000 and an arm and a leg.
Yeah, dude.
All right?
So people are saying, whoa, 26K only? Dude,
that's not bad.
It's an HP laptop, 8 gigabytes of RAM.
Guys, I'm telling you, if you plan to do just schoolwork, just pick this up, guys.
Dude, it looks so nice.
I know some of you guys are suffering out there trying to do all your documents on your phones or spending absurd amounts of money going to computer shops. That's come on, guys. Just one-time big-time purchase, you know. Let's get that out of the way. All right? Let's do the one-time big-time purchase, get this laptop, and stop spending all your time in computer shops.
I get that.
All right? Yeah. But, of course, you know, Asianic, they know that it's not just...
this is what I've been waiting for. I like that.
Of course. So, Asianic know that this is the working man's laptop.
Yeah.
And, you know, something I associate with the working man's laptop is, of course, additional tech to go along with that.
Yes.
Well, don't worry, because if you purchase from Asianic and include an additional 3,000 pesos, so on top of the 26,000, you just add a little bit more of 3,000 pesos.
29, yeah.
You can get a free snag of one HP 720 printer.
A printer. For 3K.
3K.
Wow.
Let's look at it objectively, guys. All right, you're gonna be like, wait, so I have to pay extra 3K for a printer? Guys, a printer usually costs 10K.
Dude, yes.
You are getting a steal. So please listen to us when we're saying Asianic's got the hookup.
So imagine you're a student. You need to print your documents. You need to work on your documents, then print your documents. You get a laptop and a printer.
Boom, right there. You can stop going to print shops, wasting all your money, waiting in line just to have your turn. And another thing, for you working men out there, like we said before, let's just say your boss is asking you to print out the documents. You don't have a printer. So what do? You go to a computer shop, you type all the documents, and then you go to a print shop and then print everything. You know how many lines those are? And you know how inconvenient, you gotta leave your house to do that?
Exactly.
Guys, for a total of just 26,000 and an extra 3K, you can just get everything at the comfort of your own house, at the comfort of wherever you're at. If you want to go to a cafe and work on your documents there, boom, right here. This HP 14 has got you covered.
That's real. Now, this is the true budget for your gadget.
Definitely. Like we said, guys.
This is a steal right here.
We will give you all gadgets of different budgets so you guys can make your purchases accordingly.
We got you guys.
And you know, guys, if this is not the gadget for you, don't worry because Asianic has got the hookup. You guys can check out all their lineups over at asianic.com.ph. Or if you're the kind of person that's curious and you want to ask a lot of questions, you guys can go to any of the Asianic brands and ask them just straight up, what laptop would you recommend recommend for my use case. My budget looks like this. My thing looks like this.
They'll hook you up.
They'll hook you up.
Exactly, dude. Thank you again to our friends over at 𝙭𝚗𝚡.com.ph. Be sure to check them out. All of the details should be on their website. And that was...
Budget for your gadget with Joel Dela Cruz.
𝙭𝚗𝚡, better people, better service, better deals. You may visit our branches, flash on the screen.